Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. We're all about unlocking those ancient secrets that are hiding right in front of us.
All right, so today we're doing a deep dive into the Zohar. We're taking a story you probably know, a family squabble really, and we're going to see how it's actually this incredible roadmap for spiritual growth. We're going to peel back the layers here, what the mystics call pardes, going from the literal story all the way down to the secret mystical layer. And what we'll find is that this isn't just about something that happened thousands of years ago, it's about a conflict happening inside every single one of us right now.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning. Section 1. We're starting at the surface level, the pshat, which is just the plain, literal story. It's the tale as it's told, unfolding in this huge, ancient land. But trust me, even this simple version is absolutely packed with drama and tension.
So let's paint a picture. Imagine this in stunning 4K. The camera just sweeps across this sun-baked landscape. You can almost feel the heat, right? You see the dust getting kicked up by thousands and thousands of animals. And right in the middle of all this wealth, you have these two camps. They're family, but man, there's a huge gap growing between them. You've got Abraham looking up at the sky, focused on this divine promise. And then you have Lot, his nephew, staring at the ground, at what he owns, what he can get. The tension? You could cut it with a knife. It's like that feeling right before a thunderstorm. This is way more than just an argument. It's two different worlds about to split apart.
And you gotta remember, they started out together. They left their home, followed this incredible call to a new life. They were one team. But, and this is the crazy part, their own success, all the wealth they built, it actually became the problem. The Zohar makes this fascinating point that the land literally couldn't handle both of them anymore. The fighting was getting worse, the shadow between them was just growing and growing. And it wasn't just the workers arguing over where to let the sheep graze. No, this was an outward sign of a deep inner war. Abraham's people were respectful. Lot's people? Not so much. They were basically taking whatever they wanted. So you see, it was never just about land. It was about two completely different ways of being in the world.
So, things come to a head. A choice has to be made. And Abraham, just wanting peace, does something amazing. He tells Lot, "You pick. Whatever you want, I'll take the opposite." He's willing to completely change his own path just to keep the peace. And Lot's choice? It says everything. He looks out and sees this beautiful, green, easy land by the Jordan River. Looks like paradise. An easy choice, right? The comfortable life? But that path leads right to Sodom, which the Zohar paints as the ultimate place of spiritual rot and selfishness. Abraham, on the other hand, takes what's left over, the tougher, drier highlands. He chooses faith over what looks easy. It's a spiritual climb, not a comfortable stroll. And right there you have it, two paths. One goes up, toward the light, the other goes down, straight into the shadow.
But here's where the Zohar really kicks in. It makes us ask a bigger question. What if this wasn't really about land or cattle at all? What if this whole drama was just the outside layer of a much deeper, much more personal story? What if this split was meant to happen, like a blueprint for the struggles we all face inside ourselves? And this is where it gets really interesting, because we're about to pivot from the outside world and take a journey inward.
All right, section 2. Now we're going to peel back that first layer and step into the world of allegory, what's called the remes. In this layer, Abraham and Lot, they're not just guys from a history book anymore. They become symbols, these powerful forces that are actually inside all of us. The fight is no longer in a field somewhere, it's happening right inside the human spirit.
So check this out. This is the core idea from the Zohar. Abraham, he represents the neshama, the soul, that pure divine spark inside of you that's always reaching for something more, for meaning, for connection. And Lot, well, Lot is the Yetzer Hara, the evil inclination. But don't think of some devil with a pitchfork. No, this is that inner voice that's all about me, me, me. It's that pull towards the easy, materialistic stuff. It's the shadow that's attached to us from the very beginning.
And this is just wow. A part of the Zohar called the Midrash Hane'elam says it outright. This story isn't a one-time thing from the past. It's the story of every soul coming into a body. Your soul, pure and full of potential, that's Abraham, enters the world. And boom, right there with it is its shadow, Lot. They're a package deal. So that fight between their workers, that's the constant battle inside of us. It's the fight between what we aspire to be and what we crave right now, between being generous and being selfish. It's our soul wanting to climb the mountain while our body wants to hang out in the easy, comfortable valley.
Okay, let's get more specific. What exactly is this Lot force inside of us? The Zohar has a special term for it. It's not just the regular Yetzer Hara, because that can sometimes push us to do good things.
No, this is something different. It's a very specific name for a spiritual problem that's gone way beyond just the simple flaw.
Akshi Kudal. It means the stiff-necked one, the stubborn sinner. This is the Zohar's label for Lot. And it's a really heavy technical term. This isn't just about slipping up or making a mistake. This is a deep-seated state of being. It's that part of you that just digs in its heels and refuses to change no matter what. It's that voice in your head that says, yeah, I know this is bad for me, but I'm doing it anyway. It's the addiction, the bad habit, the toxic pattern you just keep going back to. It's the pride that won't let you say you're sorry. This energy just flat out resists anything good, any attempt to fix it. It sees the right path and consciously chooses the wrong one over and over.
You know what? Let's put this in modern tech terms. It's actually a perfect fit. Think of your soul, your whole mind, body, spirit, as a super advanced computer operating system. It's designed for amazing things: growth, connection, creativity. But this Akshi Kudal, this Lot part of you, is like a piece of malware running in the background. It's not just a small bug, it's a full-on virus.
So at first, this rogue program just kind of slows everything down, you know? It's eating up your mental RAM, draining your energy and your focus. Then, when you try to improve things, you read a book, you start a new healthy habit, you're trying to install an update, this virus blocks it. It says, nope, access denied. It likes the old, broken way of doing things. And over time, it starts to make the whole system unstable. You get crashes, like anxiety or depression. It creates all this internal conflict. And here's the most important part of the analogy. You can't fix this virus. You can't talk to it or reason with it. The only way to save your entire system from crashing is to do what Abraham did. You have to isolate it. You have to quarantine it, put it in a sandbox where it can't do any more damage.
Or, hey, here are a couple of other ways to think about it. If you're a gamer, imagine you're in a huge role-playing game, and you've got this character in your group who's just broken. They won't listen, they steal your stuff, and they're literally standing in the doorway blocking you from getting to the next level. You can't fix them. The only thing you can do to win the game is to kick them out of your party. Or think like an engineer. Your life is this complex system, and one part of it has gone completely haywire. It's not just broken, it's sending out bad signals that are messing everything else up. The only move you have to save the whole thing is to cut that part off, isolate it, and make sure it can't interfere anymore.
Okay, now we're going to the deepest level, the Sod, the secret layer. This is where we get into the nuts and bolts of how reality itself works. So how does this separation thing actually function on a cosmic, energetic level? Well, to get that, we need to look at the blueprint of creation itself, the 10 Sephirot.
So the Sephirot are often shown as the tree of life. You can think of them as the 10 fundamental building blocks of, well, everything. They're like the pipes that divine energy flows through to become the world we see and experience. They're basically the source code for reality. And from this point of view, the story of Abraham and Lot isn't just a nice story with a moral. It's like watching a cosmic repair job happen in real time. It's a system reboot.
Okay, this chart lays it all out. On one side, you have Abraham. He is pure chesed. That's expansive, unlimited loving kindness, the drive to give and connect. Think of his color as white light, just pure potential. Then, on the other side, you have Gevura, which is supposed to be about strength, discipline, setting boundaries, all good things. But Lot is what happens when Gevura gets twisted and becomes harsh din, or judgment. It's strength with no heart. It's all walls and no bridges. Its color is red, the color of harshness and severity. So the whole system is totally out of whack, all giving on one side, all harshness on the other. The fighting between them is just a sign of this imbalance. So what's the fix? The separation. That act is Tiferet, which means harmony or balance. Tiferet is the great balancer in the middle. Abraham's difficult choice to separate is what brings balance back. Its color is green for life and harmony. And what happens down here in our world, in Malchut? You get two totally separate outcomes. Abraham's path and Lot's path towards Sodom, a place so dark its spiritual color is basically black, the total absence of light.
Okay, let's land the plane here. Section 5. We're going to bring this all together and figure out what the big takeaway is for our own lives. What does all this cosmic rebalancing and internal drama, what does it actually mean for us? This right here, this is the whole point. The Zohar says that the second Lot leaves, God immediately starts speaking to Abraham again. The divine presence, the Shekhinah, which couldn't stick around in a place with so much conflict and imbalance, it just floods right back in. The line is clear again. The connection is back. And that tells you everything. The separation wasn't about punishing Lot. It was about freeing Abraham. It was the spiritual detox he needed to do to clear the static from the line and get that divine connection back, full strength.
Just one. One necessary separation. That's it. It was one brave move to set a boundary, to quarantine that broken part of the system. And it wasn't about hate or anger, it was sacred system maintenance. And by doing that, it created this clean space for a totally new level of awareness to come through. Think about it. Before Lot left, God's promises were kind of general. But after the separation, God gets super specific with Abraham about the land, about his future. Once you get rid of the static, the signal comes in crystal clear.
So what this ancient story is really telling us is something so important for right now, that separation isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's actually a strategic move you have to make for your own spiritual health. And we're not just talking about cutting off toxic people, though it can be that. It's even more about our own internal stuff, those stubborn habits, that negative voice in our head, those old beliefs that are just holding us back. Deciding to separate from those things, that's a huge act of self-love. It's about protecting that good, loving part of yourself, your inner Abraham, from getting dragged down. It's about having the courage to make some space so that something new and divine can finally come in and be heard.
So this is the question the Zohar leaves hanging in the air for all of us. It's not just some old story. It's like a diagnostic test for your own life. It's asking us to be really honest with ourselves and find our own lot. What's that stubborn, stiff-necked thing in our life that's draining our energy and blocking us from moving forward? And then, the real challenge is to find that Abraham-like courage, not to get angry, but to act out of love for our own soul and make that separation. The kind of separation that doesn't lead to loss, but to total freedom and a much deeper connection to what matters.
Thank you for joining us for this complete journey through the Pardes. We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.